G'day everyone, welcome back. It's incredible to think that this is already my 5th year doing Inktober, and on top of that, my 2nd year now that I'll be sharing it on YouTube. In this video, I'll go through my plans and the materials I'll be using for my challenge this year. But before I get into that, let me know in the comments if you're going to be participating and whereabouts in the world you're doing it from. If you're not sure, then keep watching for some ideas. If you're not familiar with Inktober, I would recommend checking out my previous Inktober video series, especially the intro video, which I'll link up in this card up here, because that one gives you a good overall view of what Inktober is. But it's essentially a drawing challenge that's held every year, and throughout the month of October you draw every day using ink. If that sounds challenging to finish, it is, but don't worry, because in my last video I explained all about why challenges are good for you and how to go about them so that you can succeed. This year I want to focus on the local West Australian native plants around me, such as this little guy here and the Australian wattle. Just like last year, I hope to build a daily drawing habit and to sketch outside and from life where possible. That means that I won't be following a prompt list though. But don't worry, at the end I will share some other nature journaling prompt lists and ideas if you do prefer to do that for yourself. Instead, I'll be finding a new plant each day to inspire me. So I'm hoping that focusing on plants will make it easier for me to find a subject quickly and get on with doing the challenge rather than wasting a bit of time wandering around searching for it. Once I've spent some time sketching and nature journaling and getting more comfortable with the plant that I'm focusing on, my plan is to create a botanical style series of ink drawings of these plants, as well as share what I've learned about it. First up, I've got my 2 sketchbooks that I'll be using. This one was the same one as last year. It's got my toned paper. Now, I've only got a few pages left, not enough to do 30 drawings. So that's why I decided sometimes I might also do some sketches in this little handmade book that I did as well. And this one has got watercolor paper in it. And I'll be doing drawings like this kangaroo paw here. This was actually inked first and then added watercolor. Next up, the pens. So I'll be using black, grey and white pens. This is my Indigraph. It's a fountain pen that uses waterproof ink. And at the moment it's got an extra fine nib. I also like to use these 2 Tombow brush pens. They are a fine and a broad tip. This is a pen I haven't used very much. It's also a brush pen and very flexible, soft point, but not waterproof. These 2 pens are 0.2 and 0.5 micro sort of pens with fine liners. So these are from Unipin. So those were the black pens. I'm also planning on using a grey pen, and this is the same type as the 2 black pens from Tombow, except just a fine tip in the grey colour. And finally, 2 white pens. They're both by Uniball Signo. One's broad, and they are great for giving a pop of colour on the toned paper. Obviously, I probably won't use it on the watercolor paper. So my plan is for the end of Inktober to have a cohesive series of these botanical style ink drawings of the different varieties of native plants in my area, annotated perhaps with some interesting bits of information. Do you want to join in? If this has inspired you, then please share which region you live in and your plans for Inktober. But if you prefer to follow a prompt list, then keep an eye out for other challenges, such as Birdtober and Lindsay Strout's 30-day nature journaling challenge, and I'll link them in the description. To follow my progress, I'll be sharing on Instagram and YouTube, as well as my blog. I'll be making these final ink drawings available as downloadable PDFs so that if you want to use them for colouring in or for painting, you can do so. If you're excited for Inktober, please give this video a like and subscribe if you're not already so that you will get all the updates. And you can catch up on how I went last year by watching the whole series right here. Good luck with week 1, everyone!